Turn with me to 2 Timothy 3:16, if you would. Again, that's 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by the inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be complete, thoroughly equipped for every good work. If we're honest with ourselves, if we're truly honest with ourselves, we come at the scriptures with our own agenda, our own narrative, most of the time, don't we? We come at the scriptures maybe hoping to win an argument. Maybe, like I say, we come at it with our own agenda, with our own narrative. And the scripture was never meant to be that. The scripture was never meant to be used in an argument in such a way. And unfortunately, I've seen the scripture manipulated and perverted to win arguments, to maybe make a beautiful statement or anything like that. I've seen that done, unfortunately, more and more. But that's not what it ultimately should be for. If we look here more at this verse, we see all scripture is given by the inspiration of God and profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. Yes, but it's not. We see that it's never meant to help someone with an argument or help someone with their own agenda or something, because when we come at the scriptures like that, yet use the scriptures and manipulate the scriptures to try to win an argument, and I say try because when we do that, we more yet drive people away from the scriptures and away from God. But it was, like it says, it's meant for correction and instruction and reproof and all that. But unfortunately, the more that I see is, I see people try to add what they think the scripture means to scripture. And I see that, unfortunately, I see that more and more all the time. Just people trying to serve their own agenda or their own experiences or whatever into scripture. And that's a very dangerous game. Because the scripture can't stand on its own. Everything that's in scripture is what you need. And all the extra stuff that you think you can add, or you think will help, or you think will help the case, or whatever that's not in scripture, that's honesty, that's heresy. And when we do that, when we try to use the scriptures to win arguments and maybe make a beautiful statement and everything, we run the risk of becoming the very people Jesus butted heads with the most. We run the risk of becoming like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, just y'all keepers and y'all makers that really didn't understand the y'all all that much. They thought they did on a very surface level, but they didn't really understand it all that much. And and when Jesus said, "Hey, this is not what this means. That if you try to come at it a different way or something," they they crucified him for it. They killed him for it. The crypto was never meant to be used as a tool to win an argument or to get across a political stance or whatever. It's used to bring people together ultimately. We see that with Jesus. It's used to bring people together ultimately. And people from all walks of the life all over the world it's used to bring them together, not drive them further apart. And when we use the crypto for the sake of argument, or for the sake of making a point, or anything it wasn't designed to do, we will drive people away faster than anything. Because what they'll say is, "Oh, I don't want to have a conversation with that guy. I don't want to have a conversation with that person." They just want to be right. They care more about being right than teaching the scripture and preaching the scripture for the scripture's sake and ultimately for God's sake. I mean, that's what I say. That's what I say about people. And the sooner we realize that the scripture isn't about us, and the scripture isn't about whatever narrative we think is the push or whatever agenda we have, then we will be a lot happier and a lot more peaceful of a people and a lot more approachable of a people, because we ultimately know that the scripture isn't about us, and maybe what we think we can teach people is about God and what we know He can teach us and what He can teach people through His Word. Gentle rebukes and gentle teaching. But I'm not naive enough to think that, oh, after this message or after these types of messages, that manipulation of God's Word is going to stop. Or that it's not going to be used to put an agenda. I'm not naive enough to believe that. But if I can help maybe one person, a group of people, or God through me can help a group of people or just one person realize, maybe unintentionally, that they've been manipulated with scriptures for their own needs and not been letting God speak on His own and not been letting God stand on His own, then I'll consider that a win. I'll consider that a victory, because ultimately the scriptures should be read and the scriptures should be enjoyed for God's sake and the scripture's sake. It shouldn't be read through the end of an agenda, through the end of a narrative. It should be read because of God the earth. And when you drop these preconceived notes and these preconceived narratives, these agendas, when you drop them, then God's been speaking new to people, and God's been speaking new to you more than ever before. Guys, I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you next time.